And again, I would encourage someone like Juana to inquire about an organization such as Sensibility, because we do come into the schools and everything is free of charge, and all they have to do is provide the time and the students, and we're happy to teach it.
Okay. Now, Ms. Ballard, if I can ask you a personal question, how old were you when you were first approached by credit card companies?
Probably about 17, Juana's age.
Were you in college or in high school?
In college. And opened it right on up and started from there.
And
Yeah.
how was it like to manage having a credit card at such a young age? Did you have a job? Did you have your parents helping you pay the monthly?
I did. I had a part-time job at that time, but no one was helping me, and it was just a card basically for the once. And, just I wasn't really taught to, only use it just for emergencies or not opening it at all. I wish I didn't open it at all at that time, There was no real need for it at 17. But so they just tell you, come on, and you get approved right away, and I got approved.
Okay. So did you go crazy with it, or did you have some self?
No, there was some self, but, it doesn't take long for that to just for you to max out the card. It's like a $500 limit at that time, and it doesn't take long, and if you're only working part-time and you're going to school and you're trying to pay the minimum balance, no one's like telling you, you charge a little bit and pay it off. Whatever you charge, you need to pay off. Okay. Now I know that, but
and you're passing these lessons on to Juana.
Yeah.
So now how do you feel with Juana going to college and starting college soon? Like, is something set up to help her pay for college? Will it be a combination of you helping her plus student loans plus maybe some of her paycheck from work?
And financial aid.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's not a college fund. Like, I don't have a college fund for her.
Okay.
So Juana, when you do start college next year and you are approached by some of these credit card companies, tables, I remember at my college they would have the credit card companies come, offer you t-shirts, teddy bears.
Yes.
How are you going to respond? Because it's very tempting.
Yeah, I don't think I want to open up a credit card right now because I get really tempted of buying everything. I like a lot of things, so I don't think I'll open up any.
What do you know so far about what Angie mentioned, the idea of APRs, closing balances?
I don't really have any knowledge on that.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we'll be able to give you some more information about APRs and closing balances and so on.
Okay.
We'll be back with more on our discussion on financial literacy. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Zing TV, New York Links. We're discussing financial literacy, and we have guests Angie, Precious, and Juana joining us today. Now, Juana, you mentioned that in your social studies class, your teacher was educating you guys on financing. In certain parts of the countries, they have mandatory law state programs that require this in social studies classes, such as Chesterfield, Virginia at Chesterfield County Public School. How do you think, with having this experience with your teacher, how do you think it's helping you?
I think it's helping me now because I get to have more knowledge on it more than any other students have anywhere else. And I can actually, use it and help other people that don't, know about all the other stuff.
Well, what specifically is your teacher teaching you in the class?
He started off with how to own a house and like mortgages, and telling us like to read all the fine print and all the stuff. And he was telling us about the credit cards, how don't always open all of them, have a minimum of 2, he says, just in case. And he also taught us about the interest rates.
Okay.
It's about, and
Yeah, interest rates are very important.
yeah.
So when we think about programs like these in schools, Angie, are there, they sound like great programs, but are there any disadvantages, if you will?
Well, it's refreshing to know that someone actually cares to even bring it, and we're not saying teachers cannot do this, but unfortunately most teachers are already overworked and and stressed with the regular curriculum, and unfortunately undertrained also, having their own financial problems. So most of them are not qualified to bring this. And this is where an organization such as Sensibility or the New York State Society of CPAs and all the volunteers can bring a more structured lesson in financial literacy.
Okay.
So another program that's not being run by a school per se, it's being run by Wells Fargo. It's called Teen Access, where parents and their children work together. What would happen is, Ms. Ballard, you two would have a bank account, but once Quanah takes money out of the bank account, you would receive notification about that. How do you feel about that kind of arrangement? Do you think it would help in financial literacy or financial responsibility?
Yeah, I think it would help.
In
I think
what
it would
way?
help that way. She would kind of know that mom's watching, and you can't just take out for every thing now. Which she kind of knows now. We kind of have that arrangement that I've just already put in place, so her account is attached to mine. I don't get a notification, but I check it on my own, and then I'll, just ask her and just let her know, slow down, you know what I mean, and don't constantly take out exactly what you need and use that. So, but I think that program would be very good to get alerted.
And Quanah, I know you mentioned that you don't want to have a credit card at all, but at the same time, having a credit card is a plus in terms of building your credit score. Your teacher discussed about owning your own home or purchasing a home that would help you in the future. So maybe that type of program would help you manage the credit card. That way you still get the benefits from it without going too overboard,
Yeah.
Angie, how do you feel about those kinds of programs where parents are, whether it's a joint account or something in place where parents can oversee what's going on?
Listen, I absolutely commend Precious. Most parents are not interested in what's going on with their children, and you need to give them guidance and provide that support and structure for them to learn. But again, credit is something that is a discipline. You learn it, and you can't, as the host just mentioned, you have to credit. This is America. Basically, you live in America, you need credit, you need a good credit history, and it's not necessarily bad. What you don't want to do is overextend yourself. So learning the information, getting the information about all the credit cards. The credit card companies are in it for their bottom line. They want to make money. So they are relentless, and they will take young people and perhaps take advantage because they don't have the knowledge.
Well, do you think because of the stereotypical nature of teenagers that they're rebellious and they don't want their parents to be on their back when it comes to money? Like, do you think that such a program would help? Like, how effective are programs like this? And you commended Ms. Ballard, but how effective are these kinds of programs?
I think they're very effective because it's better than no knowledge at all, because you'll find that once people understand what credit is, what does it mean, what can it do to me, what are the effects, there are risks and there are advantages, but if you pay attention to that, then you can make better informed decisions about money management.
There's also another nonprofit program in Wisconsin called NEFI that introduces students to credit unions. How much do you, Precious, or Quanah know about credit unions?
Let's start with Quanah first. What do you know about credit unions?
I have no knowledge on credit unions at all.
I don't have that much besides knowing that, certain employers have credit unions in place where an employee can open up an account with the credit union, but I've never had like an account at a credit union.
Okay, Angie, if you can just explain to our audience what exactly a credit union is.
It's like usually a non-for-profit organization that's set up. It's a lot more user-friendly than a commercial bank like a Citibank and a Bank of America. They usually have very strict guidelines, and you have to have certain membership rules and so on in order to participate in them.
Okay.